from here on WTAN Radio.
Don't turn it on now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's 7 o'clock. It's Thursday night. I'm Mac James, stand-up comic, and it's time for Stand Up for News. Welcome back, everyone, to another amazing, adventurous episode of Stand Up for News. We are stand-up comics, and we tell the news. I am your host, Mac James. This here is my co-host, Robin Macho Woman Savage. Say hello.
Hello, everyone out there in Radio Land.
Welcome back, and here's our other co-host, Captain Jim Marvin is with us, stand-up comedian. Say hello.
Ahoy! Happy Valentine's Day to all the news lovers out there.
Welcome back. And then my other buddy, my co-host here, stand-up comedian Manny Avila. Say hello.
Ohio, konnichiwa. He's turning Japanese. I really think so.
I really think so.
We have a return guest, a stand-up comedian who's been here before. He got the point. He knows this news needs to be stood up for. So he came here to stand up for the news with us because he knows the news was born without legs. Can't walk around on him because he doesn't have any. He's born in a wheelchair. So we stick up for the news, stand up for the news. Ryan Weiss got it. So he's now a stand up for news correspondent, of course. Someone that comes in and jumps in again and again, I hope, more than just twice. Say hello to stand-up comic Ryan Weiss.
Hey, thank you. Happy to be here.
Welcome back, my dog.
Yeah. I just, I feel like we should just rename this like pretty much like the biggest Randy Newman fan club. You always stand up for the little people, for the minorities and us. So
the news needs stood up for.
So the news
we're not like CNN or Fox News, because we're right down the middle. We're not left or right, because we know, right, Manny? We know. We know
that we are full of crap.
Yeah.
But you're right. I just want the news to know that you've got a friend in me.
The other news people, they don't realize they're full of crap. We know we're full of crap. That's the difference here.
Especially me, I'm Crohn's disease.
Let's get
Brian's like, do you want? Yeah, Robin's like, do you want to switch chairs with me, man?
Real quick though, we'll do get everybody refamiliarized with our Ryan Weiss. You've been doing stand-up comedy for how long?
About 2 years. Although the last 6 months, I haven't jumped on the mic. I've kind of behind the scenes working on personal projects. The most recent one being called Survival.
How does that work?
It works very much trying to conform to society, and it doesn't work. Work doesn't work.
We've been working, I understand. But we got projects we've been talking about doing. We're not going to talk about them because they're still in the works. But we've been hanging out for like a couple weeks now talking about these new ideas that we have. So, but you're ready to stand up for the news, right? Does anybody have any questions they want to give like a quick interview, or do you guys just want to get right into the news?
I'm
curious. It's up to you, Ryan. Go ahead, Manny.
I'm curious, like how long? What made you want to get into comedy in the first place?
Honestly, that was like my very first ever career choice as a child.
Wow.
And if I can specifically remember, I was probably 9 years old or something. I don't know. It was or maybe 11 because it was middle school. My creative writing teacher, I made her cry because
wow.
You roasted her.
Like, were you roasting her?
but she was so mean, and I was just roasting her pretty bad. But my dad literally laughed at while she was crying on the phone. It was because
that's my boy.
I called it. Yep.
So you're like a Jewish guy, right?
What?
Right?
Oh yeah.
So you're obligated to do stand-up comedy, basically.
That or run the business if I want to make my parents proud, but I like the creative side more.
Can't make everybody happy.
Well, go ahead.
Made your dad happy though, right?
I feel like the very first time you did stand-up, was it at my club?
It actually was, yeah. No, so it's always a pleasure to be here and see you, Robin, because my first real open mic was at your club, and that was amazing.
Smoke District.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right
you did a really good job. Do you feel like you've grown since? Do you feel like you've written more, or you have more confidence since that first time?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm still constantly just writing new material, coming up with more and more stuff. I have so much material. It's I almost don't even want to do open mics because I have so much material to do. Like, I want to say an HBO special.
Maybe
Yeah,
Netflix.
we got lowered, maybe like Tubi or like Netflix.
How many teachers have you roasted since your third grade teacher? That's what I want to know.
I wouldn't try roasting Mike Rivera if I were you. He's pretty,
Yeah.
he's pretty
Oh,
funny.
yeah, oh my God.
But I do want to ask one thing though. You play bass, right? Like the stand-up bass, like actual like.
Yeah, it's sweet. I
So
saw it.
you were like classically trained in that, or?
Yeah. I got a degree at USF for jazz studies in the upright bass.
Oh,
And you
As
went
well
to
as a degree in
school with
psychology.
Chris, right?
Yeah, with Christopher Wright. Yeah.
The artist known as Christopher Wright, the collector. He'll be here shortly. He's on his way.
Oh, cool.
Is there-
I actually haven't seen him in a long time, so that'll be awesome. But yeah,
Heck
I did go
yeah.
to school with
Ever
him.
since you roasted his teacher, is that? I'll stop making the jokes about it. Hey, but wait, is there any parallels you think between playing the bass? Is there anything that you? It's a weird question. Anything that you can draw from comedy from that experience of playing the bass at all, or even just performing aspect, or?
I think you should.
Oh man, it's really funny because like every musician wants to be a comedian, but I learned since starting comedy, every comedian wants to be a musician. But comedians are way more savage. It's so much harder to be in the comedic world of the entertainment industry because it's so much more competitive. Everyone's just trying to like roast each other and like one up each other. And
I think you should intertwine your music with your comedy. Personally, people love that. I told you to bring your bass here the first time. You're like, I think bringing that giant thing here. That thing's like 6 foot tall, bro.
in the car, so.
How tall is it?
Taller than me.
You brought it with
Oh,
you?
wow.
Oh, not that one. No, I
Oh.
don't like rolling with me.
Yeah, it's funny that you say a lot of comedians want to be musicians because Jim won't stop screaming like a virgin every time we get it. And I keep
No, I keep screaming, I'd like to stop being a virgin.
the remix.
There are a lot of like people that can play it off as both, but the one person who's really bad at comedy, who's an incredible musician, is Donald Glover. Yeah, his stand-up is terrible. He's such a good actor, such a great rapper, but stand-up.
He's a pretty good writer, though. He's in Atlanta and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a pretty good comedy writer,
Yeah.
but as far as his stand-up.
I think he got his start on 30 Rock.
Yeah,
Which is- yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
He was a writer
he
on
started
30
on YouTube, but he started doing a lot of skits, and then that was his first in the professional job.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, you should definitely say he's a ghostwriter.
You're gonna be able to come to our mic at Knockin' Boot Saloon next week on Keene Avenue or Keene Boulevard, right?
Keene Road.
Keene Road. Sorry, 215 Keene Road. 8 o'clock, open mic comedy show. Mike Murillo, local headliner, is going to be featuring.
Yeah, I would love to.
I hope you come out, man. I want to see you perform again.
Absolutely.
Last time I saw you was at Birdie's first mic, I think. I think you were at the first one, right?
Yeah, but yeah, that was.
All right, well, let's
He
get
still
into
has a
standing
cough to
up for the
prove it.
news.
I'm trying to think back on that.
He's a
There was a lot of news that needs to be stood up for this week, so I think it's time we stand up for the news. The news was born without legs, etc., etc. So I'm going to start. We go counterclockwise, Rob, and then you, and then obviously we'll see if our man on the street does call in. If anybody out there in radio or Facebook anywhere want to call in, the number here is 727-441-3000. WTAN. Stand up for the news with us. 727-441-3000. Here we go. Right. Last week, it was a couple days ago, 3 people are detained and with firearms and are recovered during the Kansas City parade celebration. Remember that? And then because there was a shooting, for the Super Bowl champs, they had the celebration, the parade. One person was dead, but the shooter said, like the Chiefs, he was looking to repeat. Hang on.
Whoa.
Yeah. When the pedestrian was nearby one of the shooters, he tackled him and he took the shooter down, and he became an instant hero for the city. I'm sure you know his name and everything, huh, Mom? I don't even know it because I didn't think it was relevant to write down. And even he was offered a position on the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
1 year
tackling.
contract.
Yeah.
He's going to play defensive tackle.
Yeah, so the Kansas City Chiefs won Super Bowl 58. After witnessing Travis Kelce yelling at his coach, Andy Reid, Taylor Swift changed the lyrics to one of her songs to "Players gonna scream, 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 scream." He cannot shake it off, shake it off.
You look at me like me yelling at my dad for letting me get put in a foster home when I was a kid.
Oh, there you go.
We're talking about Super Bowl this week. I don't know if
You think
anyone saw
that's funny,
that Michael Cera commercial, CeraVe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's just talk about this can tie into a lot of things that happened actually this week in the news, intellectual property and how nothing is original anymore. So basically Michael Cera, that was just him like trying to be Zoolander, like moisture is the essence of the wetness. But then also to go into that with the whole intellectual property thing, there's actually reported a few days ago a lawsuit, Squishmallow. I don't know if y'all know that. It's like 8 years ago, it's like the biggest phase. Like if you go to downtown St. Pete, like all the little girls have these like little like cute Squishmallow things. Like yeah.
Kids love them.
Yeah, right now they're suing Build-A-Bear.
Really?
Yeah, because Build-A-Bear, they released a line called Scooshers, which is a Squishmallow. It's not even a bear anymore. Like they just gave up. They don't want to build anything. Like humans are just giving up.
Come up with your own thing, build a pair. Captain Jim, what's going on in the high seas? Is there news out there to stand up for?
Absolutely, James. Sunday's Super Bowl included advertisements from a Christian group featuring the theme He Gets Us. In the ads, people are shown in a variety of places washing each other's feet. A number of Americans reacted to the ads, telling Stand Up for News, okay, he gets us, but he gets us wondering why he's got such a hardcore foot fetish.
That is blasphemy. That is blasphemy if ever. All right.
I got a mattress system fetish.
You know what, Jim? Why don't you put a foot in it? All right.
I really hope Tarantino knows what's like.
All right. So this is a weird story. Mummified monkey remains were found in a passenger's luggage at a Boston airport. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, mummified monkey remains. It turns out the man only got in trouble because they weren't transported in a barrel. They should.
And all their arms couldn't link.
They weren't linked together.
Boston Customs did stop the man at the airport who smuggled the 4 mummified monkeys into the States, from Africa. Well, at least before they got seized, the 5 of them got to join the Mile High Club, I bet Davy Jones is even as a mummy is still the super dreamy. Good amount of monkeys.
Yeah.
He said that he was going to use them for consumption. He was going to eat these monkeys. Did you hear about that?
Oh wow!
The last time he got caught smuggling a mummified donkey into the country, and he said his excuse was it's okay to eat ass.
Wow.
That's what he said.
I don't know how you went from monkeys to that.
Yeah, monkeys to donkeys. Yeah, what a stretch! What a build! What a bridge you just built to get to eating ass.
I wonder what
You know?
McDonald's tastes like.
But what if the monkeys
Peter
fell off
Forks.
and bumped his head?
Oh, yeah.
So dumb. Okay.
Then you gotta call a doctor and see what the doctor said.
I call the Dr. Kevorkian. After that joke.
So in New Orleans ended another carnival season earlier this week on Fat Tuesday. But thanks to medication like Ozempic, the holiday has now been renamed to Dang, looking good there, Tuesday.
I see you, Tuesday. I see you. I thought I was looking at Monday.
I literally worked with a girl whose name was Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I bet her parents didn't think about that before they named her, though. I'm not kidding.
What's the worst name?
Nah, she
what's the
wasn't that
worst
big.
week to be named after?
Worst week?
I mean, worst day of the week to be named after.
Worst day?
This week's week
Hump
is a
day is
bad
probably the
one.
best one.
Yeah,
Just don't look at my phone contact.
You can't do It'll have to be Monday, right? Monday or Thursday.
All right, let's keep it moving, kids. In other news,
All right, so in our news, actually yesterday, going off also with animal news, in India, a rare golden tiger was spotted. However, it kind of just made India look really racist because the tiger is actually like a pink strawberry color, but because the reason that this specific tiger is so rare is because of genetic mutation through like inbred whatnot. But it has like a flat face and squinty eyes and whatnot. So yeah, they just call it the golden tiger. So
If I work there, I'd be like, "Hey, who gave the tiger the strawberry quick? Come on, guys."
Strawberry quick is delicious.
Right. Do you still think chocolate milk comes from chocolate cows? Is that how it is?
Feed them chocolate.
I put strawberry quick in my Oops All Berries, man. That stuff is good.
man, you're in spiritual.
Captain Crunch's Oops All Berries. Okay, Captain Jim. what
All
do you got
right.
For me.
Back to this, Captain Crunch. A New York City man admitted to illegally smuggling 3 Burmese pythons in his pants on a bus from Montreal through the U.S.-Canadian border crossing. The young adult snakes, thank God they weren't juveniles, were discovered by U.S. Customs hidden in the inner thigh of his pants in snake bags tied to the pants drawstring. I didn't know it was illegal to transport trouser snakes. Is that why I keep getting pulled over aside for extra inspection every time I cross the border? Is that a python in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
That's all that hissing noise I heard down there.
That wasn't snake.
That was your flare up.
Termites.
Termites in my trousers. All right, guys. Well, a group of cursing parrots have become unlikely stars in a British zoo. So in the zoo, there's these parrots that have learned how to curse, and they're just cursing up a storm. Right?
In England, you said?
Yeah, it's in England. Yeah, that's where British people are from, I believe.
That's what I was trying to say.
Which is crazy because dentistry. Thank you. Dentistry is such a dying industry in England that even the animals have foul mouths. They're actually African. I shouldn't say this part. They're actually the type of species. They're actually African gray parrots. So the profanity actually sounds like. See, I shouldn't have said that one. I told you I shouldn't have said that one. He's the only one that laughed at it.
It's 2024.
I told you not to say
Yeah,
that.
it's Black History Month. Why would you let me say that? This is horrible. And
You did a way better impression than last time.
yeah. When I was still out of my
First of all.
mind.
All right. Well, in breaking news, escaped kangaroos were captured in a Florida apartment complex's pool area. They were playing straight solids versus stripes, but those kangaroos were so hopped up, you would think they were shooting 8 balls. Get them on, they're hopped up.
I do. I thought I had
get
a
it, yeah.
kangaroo.
Just don't like it.
joke. No, I thought
I have a
had
drugged up kangaroo
Oh,
joke
man.
somewhere. I also wrote a joke about kangaroos doing cocaine. So
Speaking
I
of,
remember making jokes last time I was on here about kangaroos.
it seems to be a theme.
they kept it, they had a whole pouch full.
I did write a kangaroo joke, and it was something about because it was a kangaroo, and it was found in Tampa, and instead
It was
of
in a swimming pool, but it made it sound like they were a shooting pool.
I was
that
going to
image?
say they instead of going over the pool, they wanted to make sure the kangaroo didn't go down under. And I can't find it
That's
anymore.
enough.
Kangaroo lifeguard, man.
I'll let you go next, and then I'll get my non-kangaroo.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll hop right on it. Well, yeah, it's Black History Month, and also relevant to this week, Kanye West, he's been blacklisted. His album Vultures was taken off of Apple Music for this also goes back to the whole thing about intellectual property and originality, because he got blacklisted and taken off Apple Music because of one, he was quoted stealing Donna Summer's hit I Feel Love. And also, he got a lot of slack from Ozzy Osbourne and Sherry Osbourne because he tried sampling War Pigs without permission from the Osbourne family. And I really love it because
Isn't that Black Sabbath's music,
yeah.
though? Wouldn't you have to contest with them, not Ozzy?
Yep, yeah. It is, man, Black History Month, Black Sabbath, Kanye,
Black
blacklisted.
I did not know what month it was.
But you know,
My
man,
bad.
a lot of people know that Sharon Osbourne is half Jewish. And Kanye, like, she I love it because she quoted, she was like Kanye's messing with the wrong Jew this time. And usually black people and Jewish people get along so well. I love black people and they love me. Like, it's like we're the two oppressed people. It's great.
I identify as a black dude, and I love you. So.
Hey, me too, man.
All right. Well, Captain Jim, you look like you're ready to fire off another story.
Thank you, James. In Ukraine, cats have played a key role in supporting soldiers and civilians since Russia's invasion began, keeping troops company and helping Ukrainian military raise funds. Meanwhile, to help raise funds for its military, Russia has finally embraced its LGBTQ population and is soliciting donations by posting cute photos online of Russian bears. I got the website right here. Oh, look at this hairy guy. He's wearing a Cossack hat while wrapped up in a rainbow flag. I'm going to send them some money for vodka.
Hey.
Can we get the Build-A-Bear Workshop people?
So is that true about the cats? Is it a music like the musical Cats? They've just been playing that all throughout Ukraine.
It's Ukrainian feel like cats.
Ukraine's been leading
Game app. Like gay dudes, Ryan. We had an app for gay dudes. They could play the game where they build their own bear.
Yeah.
They could pick out the hair color, body size. Right? All right. Well,
I believe that's called Grindr. I'm not sure. Not sure. I think that app already exists.
First they eat it.
I think it's called Russell's texting.
Russell's Google Images.
Russell's Google history.
Let's see. In Charlotte, I don't know if you guys heard this. In Charlotte, a stingray with no male companion has turned out to be pregnant in her mountain aquarium. Have you guys heard about that?
I did.
Oh.
That's crazy. Yeah. They call it the stingmaculate conception. That's not actually the joke. That was so cheesy that I had to put that there. No, but in a strange coincidence, the janitor who works night shift at the aquarium has gone missing for the last 3 weeks. As soon as the news broke out, they haven't found him. So there might be. Jim, were you part-timing at an aquarium?
He's not a janitor. He's a gymiter. He's not. If he identifies as a woman, he'd be a janitor. Hey, listen. I just hope, in 9 months when that little baby that has no father because she was had an immaculate conception, what was it, stingray? I just hope like all the Roman stingrays don't decide, and the Jewish stingrays don't decide to, crucify the poor stingray.
Kill the firstborn stingray.
He's like
Ryan doesn't believe in this.
And
Ryan doesn't believe the story. He refuses to believe it. That stingray had a father.
that stingray wasn't a Messiah, man. All right, well, in breaking news, California experiences earthquakes lasting 25 minutes last week from Malibu to Hollywood, 13 quakes in a row. When asked Michael J. Fox, he said he didn't feel a thing at first. He said the shaking actually counterbalanced his own tremors, and he thought he was cured from Parks for the entire 25 minutes, Mom. So be on the lookout, Robin, for a new documentary from his experience called 25 Minutes in Heaven.
There's always whenever there's an earthquake, there's always a Rosie O'Donnell joke somewhere. And I was going to leave that.
It went to Michael J. Fox. And Scott Patrick said Michael J. Fox is one of the only celebrities that doesn't fist bump and always handshakes. There's one for Scott Patrick. All right, Mom.
Okay. Speaking of natural disasters, a Japanese volcano erupted and it sent ash 16,000 feet into the air. Pikachu was so devastated.
I was like, there's no way she's making a Pokemon joke here.
I have sons.
Hilarious.
So I just learned now, like this second, that Greece has become the world's first Christian Orthodox nation to legalize same-sex marriage.
Oh, wow.
Oh, congratulations, Ryan. I'm just messing.
It kind of makes sense though, if you think about the Greeks and their history. They were all kind of pedophilic, but all within the same sex.
That's a great adjective right there, bud. Pedophilic.
So somewhere there's a Greek stingray that's swimming around pregnant.
Okay, so we always do this segment as of the last couple of weeks. It's a little game show thing. It's Captain Jim's turn to do a little game show with the crew, have a little fun in between doing our other segments and telling them to stand up for the news, you know. So we always sing a song that's kind of like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, but it's actually Where in the World is Captain Jim Seaman. Where in the world is Captain Jim Seaman?
All right. Thank you, James. All right. So here's how the game is played. I'm going to give you a question about a news story that happened somewhere in the world that my seamen have told me about. We're talking about the professionals I sail with. And you're going to tell me where that took place. And the winner wins an amazing prize from the WTAN Talk News Drawer Prize Desk Chest. Anyways, everybody ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right. First question. My seamen are in the American South and tell me thieves stole a 200-foot tall radio tower and transmitting equipment, forcing a radio station to go silent in this state. Are my seamen in A, Alabama, B, Tennessee, or C, Georgia? And I have the passes around and we'll go around.
This is going to take longer. What do we This isn't thought yet.
I'll say Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'll say Alabama. That has to be the most interesting thing that's happened.
This sounds like a Florida man story. So I was thinking Florida, but you didn't say that. So Alabama's probably.
Okay, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia.
Tennessee.
Georgia.
Okay. All right. So my seamen are in A, Alabama. All right. Way to go, Manny. A radio station in Alabama was forced to go silent after thieves stole its 200-foot radio tower and transmitting equipment from a nearby building. Police say the prime suspect is named Video, who in 1979 killed the radio star and has been after its transmission equipment ever since. Are we sure the WTAN tower is still out there? I don't know if anyone's listening. All right, that's one for Manny. Good job there, buddy. Okay, question number 2. My seamen are in continental Europe and report that 500 people gathered to listen to the chord change on an organ that will be playing continuously for the next 600 years inside an 11th century church in this country. Are my seamen in A, France, B, Denmark, or C, Germany? You're supposed to share that, Manny.
No, I get all the answers. I'm going with Denmark on that one.
I think I'll go with Denmark too.
You get your answer.
I'm gonna go with Germany.
You would.
James, what do you think?
Denmark.
All right. My seamen are in Germany.
Hey!
Way to go, Ryan. The organ located inside an 11th century church in Halberstadt, Germany, uses sandbags to hold down the keys and is 23 years into a 639-year-long performance of a composition by a late avant-garde musician, John Cage, that won't be complete until the year 2640. See, James, and you think my compositions are too long?
I was gonna say like Mark played my organ in the den, so I went with Denmark, but I guess it was Germany.
Well, that's between you and Mark, James.
I used to work at the.
He's got a fireplace in there, you know.
He's got a bearskin rug, you know. He brought up some mulled wine, you know. He knows what I like. Okay. Question number 3. My seamen are enjoying some beach time and tell me that fellow sun worshippers recently protested a proposal to ban G-string bikinis along a popular stretch of coast in this beach-loving country. Are my seamen in A, Australia, B, Brazil, or C, Spain?
Banning G-strings is some white people activity. I'm going with it. There's no way Spanish people ban.
What's the first one?
I
you
was
said?
thinking Brazil because it's a very sexy country, and I could see
Australia.
them wearing very sexy G-strings.
Why would they ban it?
Australia.
Yeah, I think Australia. I was thinking Brazil at first too, the G-string thing, but you're right. White people, no.
Manny, what did you say?
I said Australia.
Australia's got a lot
Okay.
of dumb laws, and the other two
Might
definitely
be
are not
Spain.
banning nudity, let alone
Spain's pretty-
G-strings.
Spain's for people.
They have more nude beaches. Go ahead.
All right, go with your first answer. Protesters, my seamen are in actually A, Australia.
That was some white people stuff.
Up top.
Protesters on
Boy,
Australia's
high
Gold
five.
Coast held a rally against the proposed ban on G-strings and thong bikinis made by a local businessman who believes thongs make visitors feel uncomfortable. Demonstrators told Stand Up for News they still oppose G-strings for men after years of watching scantily clad men bump up against women at dance clubs and say, "Oops, did I throw another shrimp on the Barbie?"
Oh my god, that guy's here to go down.
I need a Foster's. Okay, we've got a split tie here between Manny and Ryan.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. So
Rock,
we
paper,
settled this
scissors.
we settled this the old-fashioned way with rock, paper, scissors. All right, gentlemen.
Okay.
On 1,
On three,
2,
guys.
3, go. All right. You can't
Do it again.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
I gave that to you. It's fair. You got it.
He
Yeah,
rocked you,
but it's
dog.
okay. I hear the first one.
All right,
I was
what's the
thinking,
prize?
oh,
What's in the
man.
prize?
Ryan, way to go.
What's
From
in
the
the box?
WTAN Surprise News chest comes, it's Manny Avila's ID. You get Manny Avila's driver's license. You get to be Manny Avila for a day after he left that in my car, and I told him I didn't have it.
Because of my identity and a lower credit score.
I don't know if I really want this one, honestly.
It comes with an arrest record. It comes with it.
I got mine sealed. So.
Congratulations, you're now on probation.
It comes with the cops driving by your place every 5 minutes.
I already got my
He looked like a decent human being back then.
I was saying, you look like you could have been a linebacker.
Looks like a
Everything's
gangster
like
with
neck
the-
and
That was fat. That's what that was.
The old man is scares me.
Well, that was an amazing segment, you guys. Let's get right on to our next segment. Well, I'd like to tell a little bit more news, current news. Welcome, Christopher Wright, the artist known as Christopher Wright's here.
Hey.
Old college chums of our guest Ryan White.
Christopher,
I'm sorry.
right all
brought
wrongs.
some gear
Long
with you,
time
huh?
no
I'm
see,
gonna play
brother.
us a song, I hope. All right, I'm going to tell a news story real quick while you guys get reacquainted. Joel Osteen, he had a church shooter show up at that big giant mega church of his.
yeah.
I guess the shooter did a Nazi salute before entering the church and opening fire last week, you guys. I bet when the shooter got their head blown off by the off-duty police officer that shot him, he did not see that coming. It was a she. Oh, yeah. They went from praying to being prayed on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that shooter put the pew in pew, pew, pew. Yeah, they went from money donations to organ donators. Just like that. Okay, the baby behind me in that sermon wasn't the only one who pooped themselves.
And just to clarify, unfortunately, Joel Osteen was not shot. So there's that.
We don't wish harm upon anybody here at Stand Up for News.
Yeah.
It's a joke. These are-
You called him Joel.
Joel, exactly. So it wasn't the right. You guys don't even know who I'm talking about.
Yo, mama's turn.
Okay, a hiker in Rhode Island killed a coyote with his bare hands after the animal bit him in the leg. When questions about how this incident started, the hiker told Stand Up for News animal control reporter, the animal just said, meep, meep.
He sold him a faulty
And the hiker
Acme
just
hole
said,
in the wall thing.
That hole in the wall does not work.
This wall doesn't work. Go ahead, Ryan.
Can we do the history segment?
Here's the news for you, though. I'll tell one real quick. Happy Days is now streaming on Pluto TV. Did you guys know about that? Yeah, I don't know why they gave Mickey's dog his own channel, though. Did you? You know what I mean? Well, my favorite is, I love Happy Days. My favorite Happy Days are when I'm streaming on Uranus TV. Get it? It's another planet. All right, Captain Jim. Current news. Let's wrap the current news up. We can get to history for Ryan.
Thank you. A far-right group has released a video accusing the Oreo cookie brand of grooming children because of its partnership with PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. When asked by Stand Up for News why they thought that Oreos groom children to be queer, a spokesslug for the homophobic group said, quote, "Any treat made of white, creamy filling sandwiched between two strong, muscular black cookies is nothing but a recipe for grooming children." Does it change anything if you dunk it in milk?
No, what wonder you're always offering me Oreos when I go to your house. You sure you don't want Oreos, man? I got a bunch at the house. I'm like, no, I'm okay.
Jim is black.
Michael Cera wants his cream with Cereva to be all over.
Oh, man, you like the creamy food?
Oh my God! Never say that again. Wow, I've never felt as molested. Okay, hey. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, a Delta flight was forced to turn back after maggots fell from an overhead compartment onto a passenger.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Delta's under fire for releasing a statement saying, "Don't like maggots? Upgrade to business premium. now maggots free." But it's all okay because it turns out they were just filming a low budget sequel to Snakes on a Plane, so everything's okay. So there you go.
Maggots in your baggage.
Hey! Where's that whistle at?
It's still
It's at home next to his box of Oreos.
All right, I'm not going to say it. It's not going to be funny. A water park water slide explosion last week injures 14 people. I saw the video. It was huge, a giant explosion, fireball everywhere. Yeah, 14 people got hurt. Yeah, they do say that water park industry is booming.
Wow.
Yeah, the water park was a blast when I went there.
The irony. Wow, it's hot water.
Yes.
Oh, that's
House GOP plots a lengthy probe on Biden's age and his memory. Did you guys hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden's nose responded by snooting. Depending on what shampoo the GOP uses, I wouldn't mind doing a probe of my own.
Quick question. What do you think Biden prefers to sniff? Children's hair or
Herbal
cocaine?
essence, dude. Herbal
What is he more interested in, huh?
He thinks dandruff is cocaine.
Cocaine is a 6-year-old standard.
Parents always want to reap the benefits of their children, so.
Yeah. The 8 ball did not fall far from the tree.
Do you want to start doing the laughs from the past?
Okay, yeah, we can do this.
It's time for laughs from the past, history and news.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and take it away, Robin.
Okay, this day in history, the BBC ended a post-war policy in which there was no programming between 6 and 7. It was known as toddler truce, which was a 1-hour break to help parents put their children to bed. Unlike modern times where we plug in our children to an iPad for 18 hours a day.
I'm sorry. Jim got too excited when you said BBC. I couldn't pay attention.
You know my shirt shut.
The British Broadcasting Network.
We're semen now.
Say it like that.
Big racist.
This is a big boomer something.
Okay, boomer.
Man, this is my favorite week to be on this show. This week is so incredible because it's just so much history repeating itself. Because this week in history, Taylor Swift was at the Grammys firing back at Kanye West. so relevant with Taylor Swift and Super Bowl and Kanye West this week already getting slammed from his album. But yeah, basically he said that he made her famous, and in 2016 she said nah. She stood up for women. She was standing up for news and women and Grammys.
Jim?
Thank you. This week, back in 1943, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt met at Casablanca, Morocco. Before they departed from their meeting at the airport, the two world leaders stared longingly into each other's eyes. Churchill said, quote, "The problems of two people don't amount to a hill of beans in this world." Roosevelt caressed Winston's chin and told him, "Here's looking at you, kid." Wait, hold on. No, that's not what they said. These are the lines from the old movie Casablanca. I have to stop letting AI write all my jokes.
That explains a lot.
Pretty black and white there.
Yeah. There's an option to put short. I don't have a joke, but this is true. Canada officially adopted in 1965 the maple leaf flag today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know what that's about, but
What did you know? They're actually debating in Parliament to change it to the marijuana leaf.
Canada's not nearly as cool. That cool.
All right. The USS Maine was destroyed on this day, a battleship. in 1898, killing 260 U.S. seamen and starting the beginning of the Spanish-American War. Ironically, explosions are usually the main reason for seamen to go flying in my house, too.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? All right. Kim Jong 2 was born today in 1941.
Kim Jong Part 2.
This time it's personal.
The sequel to Kim Jong was born February 16 tomorrow in 1904. Happy birthday, Kim Jong.
Kim Jong. all
2. Okay, in
Kim Jong is-
1564, Galileo was born. You guys know who he is?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I don't, but I do respect the fact that he made me love Queen.
Galileo, Figaro.
No.
Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub, and the devil's put aside for me.
I knew we would get you. This is how we
Chris,
get.
that was your cue.
When I was talking earlier to Ryan, I said, I bet I can get him to sing together. Okay, Mom, go ahead.
Okay. Speaking of world leaders, Russia's President Vladimir Putin was interviewed by Tucker Carlson last week. Later, President Putin remarked that Carlson asked soft questions for a Western journalist. Upon hearing this, Diane Sawyer jumped in and said, as soon as he cheats on Justin Timberlake, I will show him who's a hard-hitting journalist.
So this week, in 1979, Saturday Night Fever and Billy Joel were the biggest winners at the Grammys, with Billy Joel's hit "Just the Way You Are," which is literally like my freaking karaoke song. And then in 1986, this week, Ben and Jerry's came out with Cherry Garcia. So
Nice.
yeah, I don't know. I think Billy Joel got a little too high on acid and and hit them up and was like, "Yo, you guys really need to make good ice cream about this."
You gotta make this happen, guys.
Hey, Chris, you want to play a song? You ready?
I'll play a song.
All right, the artist known as Christopher Wright. Go ahead and play a song for us. We'll take a little time out for him to play some beautiful music. He has been on this show for 2 years with me now, and go ahead, and he's our music director. He's runs Professor J events with Professor J, of course.
Yes. Thank you so much for the shameless plug too. By
We
the
gotta-
way, yeah.
we gotta get this show on the
Thank you.
road. There we
Thanks,
go.
Jim. Thanks, Jim.
Moving on.
But yeah, so we're gonna. No worries. I can't even actually hear anything through this, so it's fine. I appreciate that. But I actually can't even hear anything right now, so
that person.
it'll be fine. But yeah, I'll play a little something for you guys. What's that? Oh yeah.
Chris doesn't talk.
Don't worry. What do you mean I don't talk?
Here, I mean, go ahead, bud.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
all good. It's all good. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little tune for you guys that I'm sure Ryan will definitely know to sing along with me if he can. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this
I just want
one.
to sit here and judge you, honestly.
You want to sit here and judge me? Oh, beautiful.
Sorry.
Beautiful. Right as I'm here shaking like, oh man.
He blew a lot of money at that college for nothing.
But not right, exactly. But now here's a little song that's been weighing on my mind a little bit lately. I've played it here a couple times, but I think it'll be it's a nice time to play it now. So let's dive right in. Yeah. He's a rebel and a runner. He's a signal turning green. He's a restless young romantic, wants to run the big machine. He's got a problem with his poisons, but you know he'll find a cure. He's cleaning up the systems to keep his nature pure. Learning to match the beat of the old world man. Learning to catch the heat of the third world man. He's got to make his own mistakes and learn to mend them as he makes. He's old enough to know enough not to choose it. He's noble enough to win the world, but weak enough to lose it. He's a new world man. He's a radio receiver, tuned to factories and farms. He's a writer and a ranger and a young boy bearing arms. He's got a problem with his powers, with weapons on patrol. He's got to walk a fine line and keep his self-control. Trying to save the day for the old world man. Learning to catch the heat of the third world man. He's not concerned with yesterday. He knows constant change is here today. He's old enough to know what's right, but weak enough not to choose it. He's wise enough to win the world, but fool enough to lose it. He's a new world man. Learning to catch the heat of the third world man. He's learning to catch the heat of the third world man. He's a new world man. He's a new world man. For Chris. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, y'all.
Hey, Chris,
Let's play a little Rush for old time's sake. Yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
did you hear that last week an airplane crashed into a mobile home in the mobile home park in Clearwater for seniors community mobile home park in Clearwater? Did you hear about that?
I have no idea.
Dude, Trump got so excited because he thought it was a Mexican mobile home park. It's a senior community park, Donald, not senior community. The pilot was actually in a big bit of a rush, you guys, on that day. He was hurrying to get to the movies theater. You know, he wanted to catch the movie that was the new movie he was excited about seeing. And he also was in a rush so he could catch the trailers. Yeah, the new ones are taking off and blowing up, you guys. Those trailers, you know, the new ones are taking off and blowing up. Don't worry, Manny's family's fine, though. All right, let's move right along. Mom, you got any current news we can move right into?
Sure. Bo Jackson wins a $21 million lawsuit involving his own niece and nephew who were attempting to extort the athlete on social media. I guess Bo knows family dysfunction.
I got to get this out before we do everything but plugs, you guys. A Florida mom was banned from picking up her kids from a school here in Florida in the car circle due to having her OnlyFans page ad on the back window of her truck. And she wouldn't take it down. Her children were expelled and now have to be homeschooled. OnlyFans homeschool can't be that bad, you know. They should blow away regular competition or regular school. Sorry, competition. It should blow away, and it should be a breeze, you know. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have a problem with my only air conditioners ad on the back of my rear car's window. Rear window of my car, only air conditioners. All right, well, go ahead, moving right along.
Well, I just want to say I'm so glad that we're representing the crazy women of Florida and not just Florida man now.
Well, there is this here.
Opportunities thing.
There is this. Listen to this, guys. Florida bill says it will not change the name of the Gandy Bridge they were going to change. Did you hear about that? Yeah. In honor of the fallen Navyman Mo Hateham. The Florida bill said it wants to name the bridge after someone who doesn't have a problem with eating pork.
Oh, hey, man.
The Florida bill also, Jim. The Florida bill also said, please refer him to Florida William, not Florida Bill. Let's keep it professional.
Thank you. A Florida transient has been accused of breaking into several yachts at the Vinoy Marina in downtown St. Petersburg, including a 105-foot luxury yacht. He snuck aboard through an unlocked door, undetected, as the captain and crew were in the staff quarters. That's why I never sleep on the job, Captain. Police say the suspect admitted to sleeping, eating food, and taking cigars while on the boat. The burglar was quickly bailed out of jail by television executives who immediately pitched him to star in a new reality TV show and Netflix series called Caught on the Yacht and Orange is the New Below Decks. What? They didn't think of asking him to star on the new romantic series? He loves boats. Soon he'll be breaking into another one.
Speaking of old-timey shows, this is I actually had Jim in mind when I wrote this joke. This is a Florida deputy fires his weapon after mistaking the sound of an acorn hitting his patrol car for a gunshot.
Oh my God.
I know. This is what happens when you give Bernie Fife from Andy Griffin more than one bullet. I felt like that. Now this news story might sound nuts on this, at its face value, but the acorn did in fact resist arrest. I gotta say, and it was a brown acorn. So there's that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's all right.
Oh my God! And now for a little bit of the weather. I am your weatherman, Mac James. People make fun of my handwriting on this show all the time. Really bad, you guys. And it makes me super duper depressed. So depressed that I felt like at one point I was just going to kill myself, you guys. Oh, yeah, but I didn't know whether or not you guys were even going to read my suicide letter. I'm just kidding. Nothing funny about suicide.
No, it's not.
It's decidedly more depressing in this room now. Thank you, Jen. Follow that up, Brian. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was suicidal for a while, and I got bigger acted, but I got a lot of really funny stories out of that experience at the being in the crazy house for a few days. So I don't know. You make comedy out of it.
There's a silver lining in this room. There's a silver lining.
It's humor is healing.
I got one more current.
Oh, okay, but then whatever. We gotta do everything but plugs too.
Okay, we did butt plugs. We did butt plugs.
Everything.
All right. Well, Delta flight was forced to turn back. I read that one. I'm sorry. Burn one. Okay. An Oklahoma judge who sent more than 500 text messages during a murder trial has resigned. You hear about that? She was sending 500 text messages during a murder trial. During. Yep. She tried to resign last week, but the state wouldn't accept a resignation letter written in emojis. When asked to comment, the judge stated, quote, "OMG, this is whack AF." And that's it.
Robin, go right ahead. Your turn.
Okay. Speaking of airplanes, which I guess you didn't do that anyway. This Sunday Super Bowl was at Allegiant Arena in Las Vegas, and it was 100% solar powered. It was efficient. It was an efficient and clean way of powering the arena. Ironically, efficient and clean isn't how they run their airlines.
Very true. There's maggots for one.
Let's come to our time of the show where we covered everything but plugs, right? So, what do you like to plug, Ryan? You're our guest. Fire away.
Yeah, so what I would like to plug, which would be newsworthy, I'm going to hear on WTAN right now publicly announce that I am, by the end of the year, going to release my first solo debut album under my persona Vanilla Weiss hip-hop album. Called Legacy. So be on the lookout for that.
You can do a little rhyme for us real quick. Show us your skills.
Yeah, I'll spit the first verse of the first song.
We got a thing at Knockin' Boot Saloon Wednesday. It's every other Wednesday, but this Wednesday coming up, it'll be Captain Jim Marvin hosting. It's 8 o'clock, and it's at 215 Keene Road.
201 Keene Road.
201, sorry. Gosh darn it. 201 Keene Road. It's at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. We want you there. You can rap if you want. But go ahead. Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay. So this is just the first verse off of the first track of the album Legacy, track 1, Who is Vanilla Weiss? So vanilla whites. I know the meaning of sacrifice. I roll the dice. Yeah, cause life is a gamble. Take it day by day, but some are hard to handle. But we out here making bills daily still. Hustling 24/7, spreading love, keep it real.
Hey.
Hustling, busting, got my big violin, got that dang food to cook, got that we went chicken din. Whipping up the fire, be so fresh to sweep the streets, dosing up all the feats. Gotta eat my meats with that new flair. Gotta share the music to our ears. Righteous conscious power to be heard throughout the years.
Stand up for
Rising
needs.
to the stars, going further than Mars.
Stand up for
This
needs.
is my legacy.
That's
the
our
horse
show
of the
today, you
prophecy, 'cause
guys.
this is who I'm
Stand up for news.